welcome to this lecture. In the last lecture, we have seen that we have concluded that thing is that if I have the inductor which is to be charged, okay, and I have seen two types of circuits. One was like this, where the battery directly connected to L, and the second circuit was like this, where the battery through switch connected to series RL circuit. Fine. And we have seen how is the current behavior of this circuit as well as current behavior of this network also. Okay, and what we concluded that from here is that the current through the inductor will not jump suddenly, but we have also seen the behavior of the voltage across inductor using circuit number 2, and we observe that, or we come to the conclusion that the voltage across inductor will have a jump at the switching instant. Okay, this is what I wanted to say. Now next, let me compare these two networks in this. So what is, say this is L. So what is the current behavior here? It will be some, let's say value is E, and here also value is E. So here it was VE by L into T, and how was the current behavior? If I'll draw the current through the inductor for this circuit number 1, it is observed that it is increasing and increasing linearly, right? And I am observing that at t tends to infinity I am getting the infinite current, right? Which is which what does it? It will give the infinite energy for me also, and this is practically not possible. Okay, because again it will go beyond the rated current of the inductor, and your inductor may spoil, right? So this is not the good solution to charge the inductor. So we have seen that it will be, we can restrict to something so that switching should be done. Whereas in this particular circuit, that is series RL circuit, what we have seen that, okay, current is that if I'll draw the current behavior and what was the current at any time in this RL series circuit, it was E by R into 1 minus e raised to minus R by L into T. And how it was? From minus infinity to 0 negative, the current was 0, and at switching instant it will go exponentially increasing, and at last it reached to this E by R. Okay, and what we said, we can wait up to 5 time constant, so we'll be able to know, yeah, inductor has been charged instead of waiting for infinite duration of time. Okay, or infinite time. Now here also the rated current I can define by the value of R. E will be given the supply, and with the value of R I can restrict the current up to the rated current, right? Rated current of the inductor. And here if I'll calculate the energy, here I am found that I will get the finite energy, so which is quite possible practically. Okay, so this is the difference between the two networks. Now let us see here, I mean, how will it be? Now I will draw the circuit. Say this is my circuit where the resistor and it is connected to inductor, and then this is my switch, and there is simply wire. Okay, and this is E, R, L, this point A, this point B. So if I am keeping this switch at position A, what is happening? Your inductor has been charged fully. Okay, that we have seen this way. Now once it has been charged by waiting up to 5 time constant, that is for millisecond practically, what I will do, I will quickly switch this from position A to position B, and how my circuit looks like? My circuit will be this way. Okay, L, and current will flow this way, and it will flow inside of it. through this inductor only, and at the end what is it? Well, it behaves as the short circuit, we know, after stabilize it. Okay, so what is the energy? The energy has been stored as half L and the stabilized current, which is I square. Okay, so this way you can store the energy in the inductor, right? Now we'll say next, once the inductor has been stored the energy, how can we retrieve that energy? That we have to see. So for that, let me slightly modify the circuit. Where let me draw here. So suppose this is my network which I am drawing now. Say this is the battery of value, say E, then this point is A, through switch inductor is connected, and in order to retrieve the energy, suppose one resistor I have connected which will be acting as a load resistance. Okay, so this is my L, positive, negative, and this is position B. Okay, and switch is moving here and there. Fine. So what is the first point? First point is that let me have the switch to position A. So with the position A, your inductor has been charged, and what was the current? Current was E by R, 1 minus e raised to minus R by L into T. Okay, this much current is flowing, and at the end, at t tends to infinity, my final steady state current was E by R. Now what I will do, I want to retrieve the, and in this again the energy has been stored. No? Now I want to retrieve the energy. So in order to retrieve the energy, I have to connect this switch to position B. Okay, so how will be this? The network looks like this way, L, and this will be R, and current is flowing this. Okay, so I can draw two types of circuits. One is when the switch is at position A, how was the network? This was like this, E, R, L, and when the switch moved to position B, at that time the circuit looks like it. So here now I will define the problem in this way, that I will connect this switch and say this is my position A and this is my position B. When switch is at position A, I will allow to flow the current through the inductor as I apply the battery. So how will it be? My inductor current looks like it. It will increase exponentially this way, right? And this is what the final steady state current I want to achieve, E by R, right? And so current increases exponentially, and now here I will not wait up to 5 time constant. Let me switch suddenly this switch to position B, let's say at this time, say this time is T1. Okay, so now what will happen? So what I did it, first my switch was at position A. So when switch was at position A, my current to the first from minus infinity to 0 negative, it was 0. Then switch connected to position A, it is current is increasing exponentially, and when I will not wait up to the stabilized the current to stabilize the current, what I will do, I will immediately move this switch from position A to position B at this time t is equal to T1. Now I would like to know how is the behavior of it. So for that, this is my new network. So now what is my T value? T has been shifted by an amount of T1. Okay. So now next is say this my variable I will define as T dash. Okay. So if this is the case, this is my I flowing this way. Now I would like to obtain what will be the current at I T dash, which will be at T minus T at T minus T1. So for that, I need the initial current also, right? Which I know it. What is the initial current at this switching instant, which is T1 0 negative. Okay. Now I would like to know what will be T1 0 positive. It will be same, but after the time progress, what is the effect? So let us write this KVL here. So it will be, say, minus to plus, it will be plus, and this is, as current is flowing this way, so let me have the polarity that way. So the KVL for this will be L di t dash dt dash plus I into R, which is 0. Now there is no external source here, right? So the now forcing function is 0 in this case. Okay, and let me write it systematically. Di by dt dash plus R by L I of t dash, which is equal to 0. Here also I can write d dash, and I know what is the solution. It is very simple. What is the solution? I of t dash will be equal to some constant k1 into e raised to minus R by L into what is it, t dash. And now let me correct something, because RR is same. This is my load resistance, so I'm sorry, let me please note the correction. This is RL, so this will be RL, this will be RL, this will be RL. Here what I am connecting, because the charge inductor I am connecting to load resistance. So let's say this load resistance may be your lamp. Okay, so to give the example, okay, so some load is connected to the inductor. That is what I wanted to say to you. So if this is the case, this will be not R, but this will be RL. No, here I will write. So my I of t dash will be k1 into e raised to minus RL by L into t dash. Now what this is the solution of homogeneous equation. Now next I would like to find out what is my k1, means what I have to evaluate t dash at t is equal to t1. Okay, so now what will be at t is equal to t1? This will be I of t minus t1, which will be k1 e raised to minus RL by L t minus t1. So if I would like to evaluate at t equal to t1, this part is e raised to 0 is 1, and k1 will be whatever the current at I of t1. Okay, so your k1 will be the value which is I of t1, that is the current at the switching instant t1. Okay, so I can directly write from it that my current at t dash will be I of t1 into e raised to minus RL by L into t dash. Okay, and what is IT1 current? IT1 current was E by R 1 minus e raised to minus R by L t1. Okay, which is to be evaluated at t1 time. Whatever may be the current, maybe if I'm doing the switching at this point, so this will be my current, right? That way you can tell. Okay, and now what was my next? The next current when I'm doing the switching at t is equal to t1. This is my next I of t minus t1, which was the initial current was I of t1 into e raised to minus RL by L into t minus t1. Fine. So what is happening here? That is the current, as time progressed, current will decrease exponentially. Okay, and how can I draw it? It will be it will decrease exponentially, and thus what I can say that I am retrieving the energy from the inductor by connecting the inductor to the load. Okay, so this way we can say that whatever the energy has been stored in inductor, that can be given to others for utilization. Okay, and with the example of RL we have seen it. Otherwise what generally in the books or everywhere it is found that in general our problem is that inductor has been connected to load resistance. Okay, and what we used to get, we used to give it what is the IL of 0 negative. Okay, and this will be my RL. So if this inductor is connected to the load resistance, and it is say that at switching t is equal to 0, the initial current is this much, IL0. Okay, so what is the current on? So I can write L di by dt. Now I will not use t dash, L di by dt, I into R, which was 0. So this is di by dt plus RL I, which is 0. So what is the solution? I of t will be simply I of 0 negative, whatever was the initial current has been given, into e raised to minus t upon tau, which was the time constant. Here I want to tell you that this time constant and this time constant is different. Okay, where it is here. So this time constant and this time constant may be different. Okay, that depends on the value of R and RL. So time constant we know because it is the ratio of L and R, right? And R will be with the connected with your inductor. Right. Now this is my I of t at t is equal to 0 switching. Now if I want to find out what is my V of t, so voltage across it, I can directly write I L di by dt, and this will be L I of 0 negative and d dt of e raised to minus t by tau, which is L minus 1 by tau I of what can be written this will be I of 0 negative, which was initial current, L minus 1 by tau into e raised to minus t by tau. Okay, and which is tau is your L and R, so LL will be got cancelled, so S will be minus R into I of 0 negative into e raised to minus t by tau. So if I would like to draw the behavior of current and voltage, this is for my current. So how will it be current? Current will exponentially decay if inductor connected across L. And what was this value? This value was I of 0. I don't know how it has been charged. Okay, initially it has been given I of 0 negative, whereas what will be the voltage across capacitor, sorry, not capacitor, inductor, that is V will be minus R. So previously it was 0. Okay, then at t is equal to 0 switching, it will suddenly jump at value is minus R of I of 0 negative, and it will decay exponentially, so it will reach to 0. So this will be my voltage behavior. Fine. Now we can also calculate how much is the energy stored in inductor and how much energy can be spent in resistor also. So let us prove it, or let us check it out. So how much energy has been stored in inductor here? Half L into I of 0 negative square, or I can write that half L I 0 negative. For this much energy has been stored in the circuit which we have taken. Now let me calculate how much energy is stored in resistor. So this will be I square into RL, right? And this will be, let's say, 0 negative to t, or final. Now I have to calculate. So 0 negative or 0 to infinity is simple. Then what it will be, I square is my, what is my I square? Recently we have computed I square is I 0 negative into e raised to minus R by L. So this is I of t is I of 0 negative into e raised to minus R by L into t. So its square will be I square 0 negative into e raised to minus 2R by L into t dt. Okay, and this comes out to be, if I will solve, so what it will be, RL also I have missed here, so RL will be So here I square 0 negative into RL will be outside of integration. So this is 0 to infinity e raised to minus 2 RL by L t dt, and this is very simple. What is its integration? RL I square 0 negative, its integration will be minus 2 RL by L, that is minus 2 RL by L. It will be 0 to infinity. So here L and this 2 RL and this RL will get cancelled. L will shift it here, and this negative will cancel with this. This negative will become positive by doing e raised to minus infinity minus e raised to 0. So it comes out to be 1 by 2 into L into this term I 0 square negative. So the energy dissipated in R is half L I square negative. Okay. So whatever the energy has been stored in inductor will be retrieved by the load resistance. That's why the law of conservation of energy is satisfied, right? Okay. Now, next what we'll do, we will again think another way. Let us see this equation we have. I of t is equal to 1 by L 0 negative to t v of tau into d tau something, right? Means what? I have to establish this much current at this particular time, and what I need this much volt seconds. For what purpose? This much volt second I need it to establish this much current, right? So if I'll say VL is equal to L di by dt, and what is my rate of change of current? Di by dt is VL by L, right? And if VL is positive, what will happen with the rate of change of current? It will increase, or current rise it, right? And it will increase, means slope is positive. Whereas if VL is less than 0, what it will be? Your rate of change will be decrease it. Okay. So here slope is positive, that's why it is increasing. Here slope is negative, that's why it will decrease it. Okay. Means for this much whole second I needed to establish this current. Say this with example. Say I have, let's charge the inductor. Now I will not draw the network. Let me directly draw the graph or draw the waveform, and from that let me directly ask you to find out what is the nature of the current through the inductor. Okay. So suppose this is my voltage applied across inductor like this. Okay, this is 0 to t by 2 and t time period. This is say V and this is say minus V. So I'll ask you I'll ask immediately what will be the current through the inductor. So in order to calculate what I need, so this is my constant current from this time period to this time period. So obviously the current we know it, that is V by L into t plus your initial condition was 0. Okay, that was like this. Okay, fine. So what will be the current behavior here? From 0 to t by 2, this much volt second you have been applied. Okay, so how much is the current? Current will go like this, it will increase linearly, okay, up to this point. And what will be this current? This current will be V by L into the time is t by 2. Okay, so this much current is established by spending this much whole second. Okay, so area under the curve in short. Then what next? At t is equal to t by 2, what I am doing, again I am switching, and voltage will be immediately dropped from plus V to minus V. So in this situation, what is the behavior of current to the inductor? So at immediately switching happened, current will not change, it will remain for some duration of time, And again here, what is it, how much volt second or how much is the area under the curve? Again it is minus V into T by 2. Okay, so the same amount of, what you can say, the volt per second is applied, so that it will be going to 0 at T. Right. Again another example, let us take it the same but with the change in the duration. So suppose say this pulse, a square wave I have applied across inductor. Let's say this value is 10, this value is 5, this value is say 15, and suppose this value is minus 5. So how will be the behavior of inductor? How is the behavior of current through inductor? So at this point, what is it, current through inductor will increase linearly. Okay, it will reach to this point, so this much volt second. So what is, how much volt second? 10 into 50 divided by say inductor. Okay, so V by L into 5, let's say L is now 200. 200 is very big amount, but just for problem solving we are taking it here. So V is 10, L is 2, and how much is the time, at what time? T is equal to 5 seconds, let's say. So it will be 25 ampere current is there. Now from here to here I am doing switching, so from 10 volt to, again, what is now volt, minus 5 volt. So suddenly current will not change, it will wait for some time, and at this point your how much volt second again you are applying, how much is the duration, that is, this is 10 and this is 5, so minus 50, so again it will go to 0. Okay, as again another way, instead suppose I will apply the voltage across capacitor like this. Say this is my, not capacitor, voltage across inductor 0, let's say 10, this is my 5 seconds, and say instead of 10 it will be, let's say, 8 seconds. Okay, and this will be suppose my 5 volt. Now how will be the behavior? How will be the behavior? Let us see now. So here this much volt second has been applied. So how much is 10 into 5? It will be 20, 50 by inductor value is 2. So it will be 25 ampere, this current. Okay, this is all voltage. This is voltage. So current linearly increasing up to 25. Then this much volt second has been applied, so this is 3 seconds and this is minus 5, so it will be how much area under the curve? Minus 15. Okay, so minus 15 has been applied, so what will happen? Current will not reach to 0, but 25 minus 15, it will be up to minus 10. It will decrease linearly up to minus 10, it will decrease linearly, and then it remains constant. It will not be 0, because if I am applying this much volt seconds to charge the inductor, if same amount of volt second if I am applying, then only my inductor will become current through inductor will become 0. Otherwise it will remain same here, and it will, and the current will be constant, remain same, not same, but current will be this much remains. Okay. This way the inductor can be charged and it can be discharged. Okay. And the energy which has been stored in inductor, the same amount of energy will be spent in resistor or load resistance, or will be dissipated. Okay. Now next we will see the same with capacitor. We'll just see the RC circuit, then we'll see again how it can be discharged, or how the energy can be retrieved from the capacitor. Okay, so suppose I will say series RC circuit. we'll see how can we solve it mathematically. Okay, so suppose my circuit is like this, switching through series RC. Okay, these are my polarities, this switch K. Okay, this already is such kind of circuit we have solved by physical inspection. We have obtained what is the initial current, what is the final current, or what is the initial voltage, or what is the final voltage. Okay, now we will try to solve it by the use of the solution of classical approach, that is classical differential equation. Okay, in time domain approach we will see in short. So in order to solve this, let us write the KVL for it. So what will be the KVL? That is E will be equal to minus IR into, I don't want to write in terms of integral form. So what I want to write in terms of voltage forms to get it the differential form, right? So what I will do, let me say this V is my voltage across capacitor. Okay, I can write VC also, but in total solution I am using complementary and this particular solution, that's why I am avoiding the representative V sub C. Okay, so that will be E will be I into R plus V, and let me express in terms of V this, so it will be C dV by dt into R plus V. Okay, and what is it? Let us write it systematically. It will be R C dV by dt plus V of t, which is equal to E, and this is what the differential equation we have, and we know how to solve it. It is my non-homogeneous linear ordinary differential equation, and I have to solve for V. So what we told, when any higher order differential equation, differential coefficient, make it equal to 1. So divide it by RC for all the terms. So we can write dV by dt plus 1 by RC V of t will be equal to E by RC. Okay, and this I would like to solve it. So what is my forcing function? Forcing function is E by RC, and what is my total solution? V of t will be complementary solution plus your particular solution, right? And what is my complementary solution? That is V of t will be K1 e raised to, yeah, now I would like to obtain what is my characteristic polynomial, and what is that operator? P is my ddt operator, so which I can write as P plus 1 by RC, which is equal to 0. This is my characteristic equation, which is H of P. Okay, and what is the root from it? It will be minus 1 by RC. Okay, so K1 minus 1 by RC into T plus particular solution. So particular solution generally is expressed into A into e raised to beta t, and now I would like to obtain what is my K1, A and beta. So in order to get that solution of non-homogeneous equation, let us express my forcing function into exponential form, so that I can write as E by RC into e raised to minus 0 t. Okay, so from that I can calculate alpha will be E by RC, and what is my beta? Beta is 0. And once I know this alpha and beta, I can get what is my A. A will be the alpha divided by your characteristic polynomial at P is equal to beta, that will be evaluated at beta. So which is alpha divided by what is characteristic equation? P plus 1 by RC, and this let me evaluate at beta, which was 0, and what was alpha? E by RC, and it is 0 plus 1 by RC, so this will 1 by RC, which is simply E. Okay, so my total solution, capacitor voltage or voltage across capacitor, will be K1 into e raised to minus 1 over RCT. This is complementary solution, and what is the particular solution now? Simply E. Now I would like to find out what is my K1. So in order to get it K1, what we have seen that my switch was open for long time. My statement was, where is that? So in this switch is open for long time. So if it open for long time initially, what it will be, Vc of 0 negative, or simply V of 0 negative before closing the switch is 0, and we know law of continuity that capacitor voltage cannot jump suddenly at switching instant, so it will be same as V of 0 positive. So this initial condition I know it, so I will substitute that. Let me evaluate this at t is equal to 0 positive. So V of 0 positive will be k1 plus E, and this is 0, so your k1 constant is minus E, and my voltage across capacitor V of t will be minus E raised to minus 1 by RC t plus E, and this is minus E, sorry. Okay, so my voltage across capacitor V of t will be E 1 minus E raised to minus t upon RC. Okay, now let us draw it. How will be the behavior? So the behavior of this voltage across capacitor is time independent. This time axis, and this is my voltage across capacitor. So how will it be? From minus infinity to 0 negative, your voltage will be 0, and then once switching happened at t is equal to 0, at t is 0 minus it was 0, t is 0 positive also it is 0, and then it is increasing exponentially. It is increasing exponentially like this, and as time progressed it reached steady state. Okay, and what is this value? This value will be E. Okay, and I would like to know how much is the time constant, or how much time constant I should wait. So this time constant is this, which will be 0.632 of your final voltage E. Okay, so I can wait up to 5 times constant, and I can say, okay, capacitor has been charged fully. So I switching that capacitor has been stored the energy, and then we will open the switch, and we can use this capacitor for other purpose in our application. Okay, so this way V of t is done. Now from that, let me calculate what will be the behavior of the current to the capacitor. So we know I will be equal to C into dV by dt, so which is C d dt. V we have calculated, that is E 1 minus e raised to minus t by RC. So if I will differentiate it, first term will be 0 and second term will be minus 1 upon RC. So minus minus will become plus, so this will be 1 over RC into e raised to minus t by RC. So this CC will get it cancelled, so my current through the capacitor will be E by R e raised to minus t upon RC with time constant, was RC. Okay, this is what the current for the RC or first order circuit. Okay, and let me draw it. So if I draw, this is my time axis, this is the current through the capacitor. So what happened at from minus infinity to 0 negative, current is 0 because switch was open for a long time. Then at switching instant, what was the switching instant? At t is equal to 0, current is, there is a sudden jump at t is equal to 0, which was E by R, and from that it decreased exponentially and reached to 0. Okay, so what I want to conclude from it, and okay, let me draw the voltage waveform also for across capacitor roughly. So it was E, and here from minus infinity to 0 voltage is 0, and slowly it is increasing exponential reach to steady state. Okay, so here what I can conclude is that in capacitor voltage will not jump suddenly. Okay, it will grow exponentially at switching instant t is equal to 0, whereas what I am observing that voltage across capacitor may change suddenly. It will there will be sudden jump at switching time or at t is equal to 0. This is what the conclusion we can draw it. Okay, so this way we can solve the circuit. So what we have done is that we have, in the last two classes what we did, we have taken the first order circuits. Why it was first order circuit? Because there were only one energy storage element, that is series RL and series RC. Okay, so in series RL how many energy storage element? There was one, and in RC also there was one storage element. So if number of energy storage element will decide the order of the system or order of the circuit. Okay, so what it was, the L di by dt plus Ri, that was equal to some excitation which was E, it was this is CR dV by dt plus V, that was some factor like this also here. Okay, so this was our first order circuits. Now once we have written the equations for series RL and series RC, we got it this differential equations, which are the first order differential equations, and these are your non-homogeneous equations. And also last to last class we have seen how can we solve the linear differential equation if it is homogeneous or if it is non-homogeneous also. If it is a non-homogeneous, what is to be done? Your total solution consists of two parts. One will be your complementary solution, particular solution. Right, complementary solution will depend on simply take it the characteristic equation, find out the roots and write it in terms of exponential form. Whereas for finding out the particular solution, what we used to do, we will try to express forcing function into exponential form, and then we'll find out the unknown, that is your A. Okay, so this way we have this in this class, from last two classes we have seen how to find out the solution of first order circuits, that is RL and RC, if the excitation is constant. Fine. And next we at the same time simultaneously also we have seen how the inductor and capacitor has been charged, and also we have seen how the inductor has been discharged also by connecting the charge inductor across load resistance, right? And we have seen how the volt second is required to establish this much current. Okay. So we stop here. Next we'll see how can we retrieve the energy from the capacitor.